Welcome back to another Brew Spy, the Magic Guy. I'm your host, Sean, and we've already found our opponent. We're playing Toolbox Karn today. Toolbox Karn, of course, being something we threw together yesterday. We're playing it in a comp league, and we're actually up a game already. We played against Dredge. This hand is bad, right? No acceleration. We'll mulligan this hand. We'll keep this hoping to find land, which we do. We'll kick it back to our opponent. There's a lot of magic to be had on Twitch. Looks like it might just be blue-white. Sad to see both swords. Sad to not see third land. Since we missed land drop, opponent might not even take something like Karn. Crane conveniently trades itself with Vendilion Click. But yeah, I saw there was a lot of different Magic you guys could be watching tonight, so appreciate anybody that tunes in. We've got my buddy Tyler might guest star again tonight just because he's coming in from his friend's wedding on the way back home. I enjoyed having him here, right? We played a little bit of Cube. That was fun. Opponent rightfully so takes nothing. I did think in my mind that blue-white control might be difficult. I think I was correct. But we did take down Dredge, so that's a victory in and of itself. A lot of players trying to get ready for the new blue cards coming out. And some people are saying that some of the War Planeswalkers that came out, War of the Spark, really did make blue-white a real actual factual contender, not just something that has some matchups that are decent. Anyway, so we can get this out there. Can't quite Karn, but we can Relic Sword. We have plenty of basics, so the two fields shouldn't hurt us too bad. That's a problem, though. I think he has Logic Knot because he considered Logic Knotting the Pentad Prism. But I mean, like, a draw of Double Sword, Bridge is really not going to do it. We could crack the Relic because we still... Actually, cracking the Relic might be relevant. Because if his permission really was Logic Knot, we could turn him off of his graveyard. And we do draw land. Oh man, we've drawn push too. He's seen a lot of extra cards though, so it possibly could just be a Dovins. I did think that the blue-white match this build might be a little lacking. So we don't want too many bridges. These come in. That's really about it. Push is bad. Brutalities can stay. The battles are bad. But I might not be able to cut them. Torp Orb turns off. Vendilion Click turns off Snapcaster Mage. I probably wouldn't want to use a Karn activation to get it, but I might not mind seeing it. It does turn off Crane and Sculler though, so we need to be careful about that card. Lattice wants to stay in the board, same with Explosives. I could see just putting Cloister in as a Whir target, just for attrition. And I probably wouldn't Karn for Tormods, but I wouldn't mind just having it in, just It'll turn on Opal a bit more easily. It's a free spell for Whir. I'm going to leave in the capsules. Their artifact count. They're also going to hit Lyra and, well, not that he's bringing that in, but it'll hit Vendilion Clicks, Snapcaster Mage, Celestial Colonnade. We do need a certain artifact density for Crane to work, so what have we done? We've taken out... We've actually added artifacts. We haven't taken... Oh, no, we took out 3, but we put in 2. Yeah. So you need to keep your artifact density a certain level or it doesn't quite work. So we'll run it back. In my mind, I think blue-white's tough for us. I don't think it's a 0% match, though. Maybe I should just put Spyglass in as a Whir target. Maybe that's better than, like, a capsule. What have I left as Karn targets? Explosives, Lattice, Bridge if we need it. Yeah, I think we got plenty of Karn targets, so. I mean, this hand interacts. It has sideboard cards. We probably should keep it. It's not the greatest. It doesn't have any acceleration, which is why we mulliganed the first hand. That was before we even knew what our opponent was on. Now here we kind of have that awkward decision. Okay, do we get Steam Vents because we have Fair as our other land, or do we make it so we can cast Brutality? The answer is you make it so you can cast Brutality, I imagine. But maybe not. We don't need to crack this just yet. Okay, well, I guess that makes our decision for us. I think I'm just going to lead Crane here. Hope to hit mana. So between the choice of Sword and Thopter, I'll take Thopter. I'm a little worried I haven't included enough lands in this build, by the way. I mean, we just slapped it together, so I was pretty excited when it took a game. Okay, so we could stick Grid here. Sticking Grid seems good, even though I don't have any artifacts for it just yet. Might eat a Spell Pierce. We have a second copy. It's a card that they have to respect over a long game. Like, we didn't actually have a single artifact out just yet, and they still had to respect that play from us. Click comes down, we get to kill it with Brutality and take something else. And again, I'm kind of starved for lands, aren't I? Once again. But we get to kill the click and take something, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, can't take a Planeswalker, but taking a counterspell is relevant to kind of clear the way for Karn. I think opponents should just rightly so not take anything. We could stick Giriper. Without even like the first artifact, though, it's a little awkward. So he takes Whir, actually. Interesting. Well, I could stick Karn. Now, what if he goes Jace, bounce, Crane? That would be unfortunate. And then I'd just be sitting with a liquid metal coating that doesn't do anything. I could also just assemble Thopter Sword. So again, maybe the safer line was kill the click so he doesn't do the play I just talked about. But if he does do that play, then I just slam Thopter Sword and hope he doesn't have, you know, Purge, maybe D-Sphere. Or we just play Aether Grid. Like, these are all fine things. Apparently my opponent is double queued in a vintage cube. Motobot has informed me. Oh, okay. I was wondering why they're taking a little bit of time. This guy must be really good or really used to doing that. I was gonna say like, I don't think I would want to double queue as blue-white control plus a vintage cube. Unless I was just goofing off in one of them and not taking the other seriously. So the question is he taking his vintage cube seriously or is he taking this match seriously? I like to kind of get the Karn board out for you guys so we can think about it. I think I'm happy with my choice of assembling Thopter Sword. Tempted to say, how's your cube going? Oh, okay, so he is going to do that play I mentioned. That's unfortunate. Maybe we get another trigger off the Crane, but... And I probably should make sure this hits... Oh, or we just draw Spyglass like a boss. Do we want to check the hand here and take out the click and turn off the Jace? Or do we want to just reestablish Crane and Spyglass? Well, why don't we lead with Spyglass? We know we're Spyglassing. So his hand is D-Sphere to Fairy. Okay. So Teferi will unlock the Jace. Most likely. Now we know we don't want to blow our brutality. I probably just play Foundry. I mean, sure, he might D-Sphere that instead. I mean, he's going to want to spend the turn unlocking his Jace. He can unlock it no matter what I do. So I think I might just want to stick Thopter Foundry. What's up, Puddin'? This is Toolbox Karn. Something we slapped together at the end of last stream. Or before my buddy Tyler got here for... We just played some Vintage Cube. But, this should be interesting. I don't think we've got a wonderful blue-white matchup. I will say that. It's a little frustrating with... It's always frustrating to know your opponent's double queued, but, I mean, it's not like that's illegal. I imagine what he does here is Time Raveler the Spyglass? Or maybe he just D-Sphere the Spyglass. Like, you've got Jace plus Fetch. Maybe you just Time Raveler. Maybe you just Time Raveler. I think Time Raveler is what I would do. Yeah. Interesting. He's more afraid of Thopter Sword. He's more afraid of Thopter Sword. Colonnade the draw. Interesting. That's really interesting. Does land change anything? Land lets me either grid the Teferi, which I think I will do. Oh, you know what? We can get the Thopter Foundry back on the table. I mean, he might Detention Sphere it, though, which is not worth. I can't imagine he would D-Sphere Sword of the Meek. That's kind of the other way we could go about this. I'm not going to bother shooting the Vendilion Click. I know we're pretty low. So, like, the Colonnade is definitely something to think about, but... Well, all this Teferi does here is give him... Now, I'll respect it. We'll kill the Planeswalker. Hey, what's up, Jade? I don't think this is a wonderful matchup for us. This is the Karn list that we started a league with yesterday. We took down Dredge. We are not looking too hot against Blue White. We did lose game 1 to them. But yeah, what's going on with you, Jade? How's life? How's it going? I mean, okay. Let's say we untap with Grid. We get to kill Click. We're not worried about losing the Spyglass because we should be able to kill the Jace with this too. You saw some of the cube? Yeah, it did not go well, but it was a fun time. See, that's the fun thing about like a guest star or doing cube together with a friend of mine. Like it could go horribly wrong, but it's still a fun time, you know. My opponent is double queued. Speaking of which, in Vintage Cube. I give him a winky face. I'm not. It's not like I'm mad. I'm just making him aware that I'm aware his cube is. He's playing cube. But why don't we, while we wait for our opponent to, I guess, make some more decisions in his cube, I'll pull up the list. So now that we're boarded, we've made several changes. I think post board we take out at least one capsule against them. All right, so he's gonna D-sphere the Aether Grid, I think. So he's gonna go after my sword. Interesting. Played the island. So we've drawn land. I mean, Thopter Foundry is not even a terrible thing to think about because we do need to block and deal with this colonnade. So we can shoot the click or we could just block the click. I'm going to leave this up because it represents for the... But why don't we clear the way for... I might just want to... No, let's just clear the way for the Thopter Foundry. Okay, so you just got a bunch of lands. Although the way that I tapped, I'm not able to also cast that, am I? Whoops. Crane finds us the other sword. So that's good. Actually, we can just go ahead and play sword. It's useful, for sure. Especially, I was about to say, especially for streamers. We actually got there. I don't love how I boarded, but at the same time, let's leave it how it was. I mean, I don't hate how we boarded. I don't love how we boarded either. I like having a tutable bridge. So, yeah, like battle and push, I just don't think we can play. Honestly, I think this is the configuration. Let's run it back. Yeah, the gear per Aether Grid was reasonable. Like, it's a way for us to ping down planeswalkers. It's a way to kill snaps and Vendilion clicks. I don't really want to have these in to remove, but it kind of removes for us. Oh, the Spyglass just being top decked was great. I think we'll leave it in as a Whir target. It's like we kind of want to get up on these Whirs in this matchup. Don't get me wrong, Karns, like the Karns are strong, but we want to get up on this Whir action against blue white so that we're operating, during their end step instead of just being, because like a lot of our deck is what? A lot of our deck is like a tap out blue black kind of, artifact prison thing. Whir is really the only thing in our deck that doesn't operate sorcery speed. I'm gonna leave the Sculler in. That might be a juicy unexpected Whir target. So this hand has a lot of mana, but it might not result in anything. We're on the draw though. So I'm just gonna kind of hope that the cards come. I'm going to hope. By the way, our build had no respect at all for... Spell Pierce. Our build has no respect for what? Stony Silence. So we may get stonied. This game we may get stonied another match during this league. This hand has a ton of mana since we drew second Pentad. Okay, rest in peace. I was a little worried for a second there. I was like, oh god, is he playing Stony? Do we want to stick the Foundry here? Might be a nice window to stick Foundry. Again, maybe I still should have played Pentad Prism. Yeah, so we had Thopter Sword. Unfortunately, the rest in peace will turn that off. But see if I can't get him to counter this, because it looks like we're stuck on mana, but I'm not stuck on mana. I have tons of mana, actually. Yeah, I don't have a way to remove rest in peace, so this sword is probably just either going to be literally used as equipment or more likely just become a Thopter. Apparently he's getting called by his work. Okay. Well, what does that mean for us? I do have enough. I don't have enough play points, but I do have enough ticks. We could, like, queue or something. How many of you were watching the Star City coverage tonight, by the way? No worries, Jade. Yeah, you got to get that Elder Scrolls in on the weekend. Yeah, so our opponent may take a while. Um, yeah, to be fair, I do like this take on Karn. I'm not going to say that it's better than some of the other shells for Karn, right? Some players have established that there are a lot of other different ways to takes on Karn. I think this is a really fun shell. I'm not going to say that it's good. We haven't been missing on the Crane lately, which is good. I think we missed on Crane once against Dredge, but we haven't missed on this yet. Well, you were trying to brew with New Ugin. So Jade was trying to brew a different style of Krarkland combo. Um, yeah, 6 mana Ugin. The problem is he doesn't give you a sacrifice engine. Sure, you're getting a planeswalker instead, but he's 2 more mana. The really big thing with Krarkland was that it gave us a sacrifice engine. We could utilize some of what's out. I mean, there have been like semblance Anvil builds. There have been what else? There have been builds using like there's like a 2 or 3 card piece, like you mill them. So there have been some players trying to like come up with a way to like still play some sort of eggs style or Kirkland Ironworks style kill. You can see here I've got all of our different Karn tutor targets. So we've got 2 swords, 3 foundry, and then the last sword and the last foundry. Well, third sword, fourth foundry in the sideboard. But after boarding against our opponent, the tutor targets certainly have changed. Because some of the cards we wanted to make were targets against him, right? We brought in the Spyglass, we brought in the Cloister, so I wanted those to be war targets. So Karn's got a few less choices to make. Well, bridge is really weak. I left in one main deck bridge as a miser for Whir, but we probably won't need it. New Horizons. No, the New Horizon lands are really definitely a topic of. Actually, that's something we could fun we could do while we wait for our opponent to get back. We could do. I'll just leave the clocks open. I mean, work is work, right? So opponent said his work is calling him like MTG. Let's look at the spoilers. I haven't actually looked today. I don't think anything new came out today, but you never know. So sorry for everybody that doesn't want the set spoiled for them. Ooh, new sword came out. Okay, so hang on. So I actually hadn't really caught up on some of this. Yeah, Archmage's Charm is fascinating. Oops. I was trying to zoom into the card. Counter target spell. Target player draws 2. I mean, stop here. I'm already into this card. But the fact that they slapped on this weird third gain control of a permanent is kind of cool. You could take Aether Vial, or I mean anything else. You could take Death Shadow with this. I mean this is cool. Sword's actually kind of bad. I haven't looked at the new sword yet. I thought that the Sword of Truth and Justice was interesting. I'm not going to say good, but I thought it was interesting. Oh, he's back. We've got tons of mana. Do I just want to animate? I think I will. I'm not going to sack the Pentad there, but... Opponent's missing land drops, so we're in a good spot. I think Blue Moon will play Charm. Yeah, it's a lot of blue. It is a lot of blue. Um, is a lot of blue mana. We're blue, 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 blue. I mean, like, I might as well just get all these artifacts out and just go to the sky. I'll probably crack this Pentad for another Thopter. There's a Karn for us. I imagine he's got an answer. If he's missing land drops, he probably has mono answers. Doesn't mean I don't play it, though. Like, I can pay for Spell Pierce. Dovins. Can make more Thopters. It's kind of nice that Thopter Foundry like doesn't really, at the end of the day, care too much about what do I want to get with this Whir? I think a Whir for 2 is fine. Actually, hang on. Let's Whir for X's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. This would go get the draw engine and probably put this game away. Should be a big hint to my opponent that I have Whir though. X is 1, 2, 3, 4. The old Snapcaster Mage. So we'll go get Cloister. The old Snapcaster Mage rest in peace deck, right chat? Giver of Runes. So he kind of has to answer this bottle Cloister, right? Oh no, you hit the Thopters. Absolutely. Oh, he goes for Cloister. Okay. Goes for Cloister. I mean, we went all in on this Thopter. Unfortunately, if he has another Detention Sphere, I can't protect my tokens. If he just straight up has another sphere. I'm hoping these tokens just go the whole way. Next we could crack this border post. He's at 9, so a swing for 4 and a swing for 5 does it. I think you want to lead on the swing for 4 and then follow up with swing for 5. Can't you sack a token in response? Unfortunately, no. So Thopter Foundry says sacrifice non-token. I wish it worked that way, Ewok. It does say non-token artifact. Ooh, he left in Verdict. Okay. So we are going to have a bit of a game. I mean, if he hadn't taken, he goes to 3. If he hadn't taken Cloister, we would be drawing a lot of cards right now. But I think this game was just about the Foundry. His snaps are turned off. We went through a lot of artifacts, as you can see, chat. Let's see. Karn got countered by Dovin's Veto. These are exiled. Just thinking about what happened this game. Whir, the thing that I whirred for, he bottled, or he, sorry, the bottled I whirred for, he sphered. So, it's just Teferi. Cataclysmic. So I'll get to choose. So he's going to get rid of the Rest in Peace, interestingly enough. I think I'm supposed to gain the life here. Interesting. He decides to give me back the Cloister instead of getting rid of the Rest in Peace. He's just so scared of Thopter Sword. I think that's wrong. I think giving me the extra draw is not good. I think that's not good, chat. Oh, he said, oops, wrong one. I was wondering about that. I was. Cataclysmic Earhulk's sweet sideboard tech, though. I do like this. It's kind of cool. I don't think the game's over necessarily. We'll see. Jace. Okay. I mean, barring opt into Terminus, we should just kill him. For Path, I'll make 1 extra Thopter. Good games. So actually, the blue-white matchup's not as bad as we thought. Alright, I said thank you, too. He said good luck next round. Okay, well, we're 2-0 with this Karn pile that we threw together. This has like a lot of the same configuration as like really older like Tezzerator lists I've tried to make work in the past. Like when this reminds me of like when Whir first came out, I tried to make a Tezzerator build that looks similar to this, and it just didn't work. But like maybe Karn's just a lot stronger for this kind of a thing. Card is pretty ridiculous. So we beat Dredge, although that was a close one. We did end up beating Blue White, even though I don't think it's a good matchup for us, but maybe it's decent. And then of course now we're playing. We could be playing against anything. It could be even a boat. Could even be a boat. Alright, let's take this. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we were looking at spoilers while our opponent had to take a call. This hand's interesting. It's got a little acceleration. We're on the play. I don't think we throw back a Mox hand. This card's modern legal? Amulet Titan plays Karn. I think they play it well. I think there may be just a stronger shell. But this is like fun. This is like trying to really like this is like trying to have tons of tutor targets for Karn, right? Like over half, over 2/3. Sorry, yeah, over 2/3 of the side. 11 out of 15 of our sideboard is Karn targets. You know, sword combo is here. Cloister Bridge, Coding Lattice, Explosives, Crypt, and we have Torpor Or and Witch Orb. Oh, and a Spyglass for good measure. Star City Games Tour Titan players, Daytude had 4 mainboard Karn. Yeah, they're a ramp deck, so they probably play Karn great. I'm not trying to say that we're playing Karn better. Our opponent's name is Solomon Grundy. Interesting. It's insane to watch. They were just slamming down lattices. Yeah. They are considering their options. But yeah, as far as like we can still see what's going on in the game. As far as like other spoils, I think in lieu of Thoughtseize, I'm just gonna make that play. Maybe blue-white again. Maybe it is. No second artifact. Little disappointing. We couldn't accelerate out bridge, but not that bridge is all that good against every island deck, right? Looks to be blue-white again. All right, so now we get to really see, because we only played against it once, and I feel like we kind of lucked out. We get to really see if this is where we want to be. You haven't seen that sword yet? I didn't even really read the card just yet. Crane or bridge? I'll probably just play bridge. Playing bridge turns on the Mox. I don't think he's going to counter this. Who cares? Unless he's playing like spirits. Well, he wouldn't be able to counter it if he's playing spirits. Go ahead, slam Planeswalker. We'll follow up with one of our own. Oh, interesting. Okay. Could be Spell Pierce. Do I hit him with the bridge instead of just tutoring with Karn? It's an interesting thought. We're not at lattice mana, and we won't be next turn. We don't know if we're keeping the Karn. We don't have any pieces to Thopter Sword. We're more likely to naturally draw what? We're more likely to naturally hit Foundry, and we could whir for it. So we could just try to assemble Thopter Sword. I don't like, since we don't have a follow-up Karn, and the first one might just get desphered, I don't like thinking we're going to get to keep the Karn. I think we just grab pieces to the sword combo Or we could grab just a general answer to. I mean, they're playing blue-white, so they'll have tons of walkers. We could just grab Spyglass. Hey, what's up, bros? Or bronze? Spyglass just to see what we need to do. Yeah, I actually really like that, but I also know that their best line is to follow up, is like to play Jace or Teferi. Okay, D-Sphere. I may just follow up with other Karn, actually, if he doesn't play land. Actually, even if he plays land, we just follow up with other Karn. Ooh, or I just draw another Karn, right? See, now I'm thinking I just play Scion of Urza and get a clock going, actually. But maybe that's wrong. But it is a 4/4. The fairy. So we can have Great Creator Karn punch to fairy with bridge. I'd rather do that than, well, let's plus this Karn first. The other was Sword of the Meek. Okay. I don't have enough mana to Spyglass and also Karn punch to fairy. So let's just punch to fairy. We don't need to get fancy, chat. But you're giving the removal a target. Yeah, that's the issue with using Karn this way. That's fair. This is definitely the side of the deck we want to draw in this matchup. We only drew one removal spell, which is where you want to be. We had some acceleration. Another D-Sphere? Oh, Narset. Narset, but doesn't minus the Narset. Interesting. Narset, but doesn't minus Narset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't have Spell Pierce? They do play Spell Pierce these days, but don't have Spell Pierce? Ah, okay. All right, opponent. All right. Karn gets around Narset. It's passive, by the way. They do play actual Spell Pierce these days. It's nice that Karn gets around that. Glint Nest, okay. This isn't really what we want to Spyglass. Actually, we don't really have any draw that this turns off in our deck, which is kind of nice. We have ways to get it back, or we just do what's probably the right line, which is go get coding and just start blowing up lands, or blow up the... Well, we can't blow up the sphere, but we could blow up their lands. Logical not. But see, I don't even know if we care. Like, all the things, like, the things are already in play. It's pretty easy they could have a path here, though. Right? So maybe that's a weird line from me. Yeah, their hand might just be a bunch of removal. Five cards in the yard. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. Logic for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got logic for 6. Take a Moxen. Play bridge. By not playing Hollow One. Hollow One like disappeared. It was kind of a flash in the pan. Ooh, hits a cryptic. Discards timely. I mean, do you start ticking Karn down now? And just grab Thopter Sword? It's an interesting thought. So we can name Teferi. His hand has a ton of counter magic. And a verdict, so we know not to go all in on the Karn. But like, we could just start beating down, is the thing. There's one more cryptic there. Like, he has to answer pretty much every golem I make. They're going to be huge. Oh, except I have bridge in play. That's, oops. I was supposed to keep plussing. I was thinking about attacking using this Karn's plus, not this Karn's minus. I mixed them up in my head. We shouldn't have redeployed the bridge. Why did I do that, chat? Yeah, it's just land go. I mean, maybe what I do is I end step the Whir. Oh, he wants to bounce one of my cards. Ooh, he wants to bounce the detention sphere. Interesting. I could just go get. Oh no, it's in the sideboard. I was gonna say I could go get the cloister. Yeah, so he returned the detention sphere. We can take the detention sphere. Kind of in a weird, convoluted way. I actually do have a way to do that. But I know he's got the verdict. He could take a turn off to verdict, but then he doesn't have counter magic. Yeah, I actually think I go. I take the detention sphere out of his hand. It's a little awkward, but he's also got a Jace the Mind Sculptor now. So his hand looks like this. There's only one logic. You think he wants to kill Spyglass? I really didn't mean to do that, chat. That's funny. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. Inventor's Fair or Sword? Okay. Right. I think I'll take a Cryptic. Could just get Cloister. It's so grindy. Everything else we have to piece it together. We know he's going to counter excuse me, pretty much anything I get he has to counter. So what do we need to hold in our hand to threaten? The coding? If we pick coding, then he has to somehow answer. He has to answer this Karn, and then we'll keep just gaining value off of this Karn. I really didn't mean to make that construct. It's embarrassing. Yeah, so he's gonna bounce Create Creator, which is what I thought he'd have to do if I grab coding. Yeah, I really didn't mean to do that. I would have been better off minusing Karn or plussing him that turn. I didn't mean to make that play, chat. Didn't mean to. So he gets back so the verdict's been spent. He gets back the detention sphere. He's got logic open. If I could nuke the graveyard, I'd turn off the logic. Pentab, Prism, Scalding Tarn. I'm trying to dig for... We have some mainboard relics. Oops, I didn't mean to cast that, though. I meant to click the crane. It was not actually what I meant to do, chat. It might hurt us, especially since it was accidentally cast with the wrong amount of color. There's the relic. Although, maybe I still should have just taken a Thopter Foundry. So this lets me reestablish the Karn, but since my punt, I don't know if I actually get to play the coding as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do, despite my misclick. Despite my misclick, we still get to Karn and play the coding. Alright, so we blow up a land, kick it back. Oof. Yeah, I know, right? We're still okay. So he's going to hit Great Creator. Colonnade's a non-issue. Wow, we just draw another Karn. Oh, does he have... Did he have second logic now? I thought I only saw one. I guess he had two. We can just assemble Thopter Sword now. Coast is clear. We minus Scion on the silver. I mean, like, yeah. It's not a big deal. No. So he fields. Interesting. He fields and then plays at the ferry that is spyglassed. Okay. I proceed to make a bunch of Thopters. Do we even bother killing the Teferi? I don't know if I do. To be perfectly honest. You do think I do? Oops, I didn't mean to. I can fix that. We lose a point of damage because of my little mistake there. I wasn't supposed to play my. If I take the sword off that Thopter, it can still attack. But I wasn't supposed to play my land. So you think these go to Fairy? All right. Getting back Inventor's Fair is tempting too. It gives us access to a tutor. I shouldn't have played my other land though if I was going to get back the Inventor's Fair. Right, but we only have 12 minutes. So we know he's got Cryptic Tap our team here if he plays Blue Source, which he should. Timely. Six, 7, 8, 9. I think I can deal 15. We have a lot of mana. Should be able to kill him. We got a little bit more than 10 minutes. Should be able to squeeze in another game. And if we're losing game 2, like if we're just like, yeah, we're not going to get their game 2, obviously we want to scoop it up. Did I make enough? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, yeah, it's lethal. Because if they got rid of the spyglass. No, I mean we had enough resources that we could do it. Let's do the same board plan. Grids, crypt in, push out one capsule out, battle out, cloister in, spyglass in, submit. Yeah, I know, no spine. Yeah, no spine of Ishtar. I just heard word from Tyler. He's not coming. He's not going to be here till 1. He's not going to be here until 1. Opponent kept a one lander. Okay. Spell Pierce. Rejection. Fair enough, opponent. Opponent kept a rejection hand. Another opt. Okay, so they can negate now. Okay, that's not a bad one to draw. Bridge or Cloister? I definitely take Cloister in this matchup. Need land though. Why is Bridge still in? It's just a singleton. I think Bridge is better than like a random capsule or battle at the bridge. Like JB, when we built this, I wasn't really thinking blue-white, as you can see. They might counter this just because it looks like I'm stuck. So, I mean, this is just a prototype, my friend. Like, I just slapped it together. So, we're not always going to have enough space. He is going to counter it. And remember what I said? Like, if it looks like we're just going to lose, I definitely need to scoop. And scoop quickly. I mean, if he slams Jace, we get the Foundry down. He plays the Fairy. Okay. He plays the Fairy, lets me kill Teferi. Drawn third land. I mean, he might have another Ceremonious. It's possible. Or like Spell Pierce. I can't play around Spell Pierce this turn. Is it bad that I'm still playing? Because I feel like we could still maybe get this. Another Time Raveler. It's probably wrong that I'm still playing, right? That I think we can get this. This is obvious counter magic here. We just kind of got stuck on mana, so maybe I should just scoop it up and play a third game. Rejection, veto, opt. What do we want to do then? It can be. It can be Ewok. But yeah, JB, we just didn't have enough stuff to take out. Does not opt. Interesting. So this is just this game's going to be a matter of, do we draw the last necessary lands? We're just getting stuck on mana, chat. Doing a little bit of F6ing just so we can preserve time for a potential third game here. Well, interesting. Hang on. So he taps himself out here. Cloister's really grindy. Playing Karn here lets me punch Jace, which is actually just the right line. And actually, I think I'm supposed to play the Crane. So we know his hand is a veto. Sculler or Foundry? We'll take Foundry. Well, maybe I'm supposed to take Sculler there, actually. Little F6. Crane 100%? Yeah. Maybe I should have taken the Sculler because it takes the veto. Spyglass a little vulnerable here, but he's probably taken out a lot of his spot removal. Like, that's the thing about Blue-Eyed is, like, in the same way that we have some dead spot removal in for game one, so do they. Paths and such. I think I bait out the counter magic with coding. Like, while coding would be nuts to resolve, like... Like, you don't let this resolve. He does. Okay. Six and a half minutes. Might be like Cryptic. Yeah, Cryptic the Karn. If anything, we don't mind him vetoing the Karn because the real prize is Thopter Foundry, to which even if they counter this Foundry, I can Whir of Invention for the other copy. But you still don't let this go. There's the veto. Try to stick this. Even if he counters this, we can Whir for another one. Looks like he does have another counter spell. I don't know why he logicked for 3. He's putting me on Simian Spirit Guide or something. Opponent's down to their last card. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 mana. Um, what am I supposed to coding? The click, right? Then he has to choose between. This is awkward for me though. The cataclysmic is really problematic for me. So we might just want to go to the next game because I'll choose creature. And I'll probably choose Mox. But if I don't choose Spyglass, we lose the Teferi. Or we lose what we have on the Teferi. So that's unfortunate. That cuts us down quite a bit. Artifact, artifact. Keep Spyglass. So he decided to keep this as creature. I mean, let's see. Blue, blue, blue. If I draw land, I could just whir for bridge and then we're okay. Great Creator gives himself a blocker. It's kind of awkward that it's the Spyglass. Sign of Urza. Minus. His opponent's on top deck mode. He topped it, so he liked it. Whatever it was, he liked it. I can get under bridge. I still might make the token though. Four minutes. I'm probably supposed to play around another field, actually. Although I think the swamp's still in the deck. Oh, Teferi. I forgot. I should have just done it during my turn. My bad, chat. And very little of our deck is instant speed, so I guess it just didn't cross my mind. Another whir. Well, now we actually can't get beneath the bridge. Unless I hit land. That was stupid of me, chat. I apologize. It was a mess. Relic and Urborg. Okay, Urborg's relevant. So we can... Whir. He counters it. What do we do? This still doesn't do what we need it to, right? Still doesn't get me beneath bridge. Shouldn't I just play Karn? Veto. No, that misstep really hurt us. We can't win in 3 minutes. That's unfortunate. I mean, I maybe should have just gone to game 3 once we stumbled a little bit in the early game. And then me not giving us, like me basically skipping our turn there was pretty awful. We can play a little speed magic. This definitely seems like a matchup that we want to test. So even if it's only 3 minutes against it, I think we want it. This hand seems fine. This could be Stony Silence, which I said was going to happen at some point in this league. Might as well get it out of the way here, if it is. So yeah, if we navigated that last game maybe a little bit better. I mean, maybe we still could have grinded out that last game. I'm trying to think back to the end of game two. Could we still have grinded that out? Let's see. He had it to Fairy Hero. No, I didn't really build the deck in such a way that it could really come back from Stony. But I mean, not every deck in Modern will be a Stony deck, so. And actually, wait a minute. Can we? No, we shouldn't be able to tap this with the Urborg ability, right? I was thinking that that might be a thing. 1, 2, 3 mana source. Hit the Teferi. Nah. I mean, it is an artifact. It's not like the Urborg gives it another ability. I mean, yes, it gets the Urborg ability, but it still can't tap. Kind of curious what else he maybe brought in, but yeah, I mean, thankfully, like I said, not every deck we play against is so we'll be 1-1 against blue-white control after this. Gotta keep your hero honest. Like, it looks bad here, but our league so far has actually been really good. We took down Dredge. We did beat blue-white last time we played against it. Looks like we're gonna lose to it this time. Like any non-artifact mana source gives us, we can just start slamming Karns. But with 6 cards in my opponent's hand, I would assume they've got multiple answers. Well, that's not one that makes mana in this case. Okay. I could use mana. Thank you, sir. What are my thoughts on Urza? I think Urza's interesting. Urza makes Thopter Sword work. Lincoln. Ooh, maybe we were though. No, you slam Karns. This guy's got Ceremoniouses too. It's brutal. Nah, we're just wasting our precious life. Let's go ahead and play another game. So we're 1-1 against Blue White. It seems, I would assume it's tough just because other than the we're kind of just like a tap out prison deck, and those traditionally, unless you're playing like a speed Blood Moon kind of deck, well, even those not very good against Blue White. So, in the words of Fluffy, not a favorable match. That's okay. Fluffy Wolf, I mean. Not worried about it. We managed to steal a game against it. Um, we did get stonied. I knew that was going to happen at some point tonight, so glad we got that out of the way. Hopefully that means the rest of tonight that doesn't happen, but we'll see. A lot of people playtesting Blue White thinking that some of the new printed cards are going to put it over the. I mean, it might already be, you know. Some of these newly printed cards certainly I think that Time Raveler Teferi's minus is actually really what makes that card tick. You know, the um, the fact that you're removing most types of permanents and drawing a card is kind of cool. Card is kind of neat. But yeah, I think Urza is interesting. We were looking at some of the spoilers. I haven't even looked at this new sword. Let me take a look at this. So yeah, obviously it's red black. Um, Destroy up to one target planeswalker, one target artifact. Interesting. Hmm. Huh. I guess it would have been too strong if it was destroy creature or planeswalker, right? Or even maybe just creature. Interesting. I've looked at all the other spoilers. Some interesting cards in here for sure. But yeah, new Urza, definitely. Let's go to this one. We missed it. Yeah, I think new Urza's sweet. Um, yeah, I mean new Urza does wombo off with. There's lots of wombos you can do with Urza, right? Sai, it's Sai, right? Also has good protections. Yeah, red and black are very relevant protections to have. All right, let's see if we can grind out the rest of this league and make it profitable, right? Be interesting to see our janky Karn deck prize, right? This is a mulligan. Well, technically we could, but we kind of want to come out of the gates and actually do the things. Well, I'm not keeping Pentad Venner's Fair. Well, it's not getting much better. Bottom. Who knows, maybe they're dredge and this is sweet. We may just be cracking this if we don't hit land drop. Another Stony Silence deck. Maybe. Very possible. Very possible. I mean, I don't really want to Pentad off of Island. They do have some graveyard synergies, so Relic, but we're hoping for a different land drop here. Okay, Moxen. So I may just need to play these out on only one Sunburst. So he's playing Martyr Proc. That's a blast from the past. They don't deal too well with Ensnaring Bridge. If I play the capsule, then we have the Opal online. If we have Opal online... Okay, let's kick it back. We really just needed to turn on Opal. So it sucks that we kind of wasted a Prism, but our mana's a little awkward this game. Oh, he has Martyr, so these are going to get big. Makes me wish I'd maybe just killed one of them. I did think about spending my other Mox Opal to kill one of the Ascendants just in case they had Martyr. Because now the clock is drastically different. Instead of just taking 6 there, I'm almost dead right now. Bridge off the top? Bridge? We did mulligan all the way down to 5, so it's like Brutality doesn't do anything. So I can kill one of them. Yeah, the play I was talking about was relevant if I'd just spent the other Moxen. We're off the top, gets bridge, I mean, then we die to the martyr. I know I was sitting here thinking, man, maybe we'll go the rest of this league and not have a Stony Silence matchup, but here we are. They're gonna have Stonies after board. Thopter Foundry too late. But like, there's so many decks that we lose to if we're mulliganing all the way down to like what, four, five or four. I think we mulled to four. I don't know if I even like grid's okay. What's weak? Brutality is weak. We can cut that. Bring in the extra push. They do have some graveyard synergies, but I'd almost rather just maximize some of that removal. Sculler's weak. We'll cut a relic. Submit. All right, let's actually like get like a hand. Can we have a hand? So let's dodge Stony Silence, right? And let's have a hand of mana. Because we just could not get it last time. Which again, like, I know that might seem strange to you guys when half of our deck is mana. Half of the deck is mana. Half of our deck is indeed mana. See, we see it here. That's fine. Actually gonna lead Darksteel Opal. So I'm trying to turn this on. Oh, actually, I still should have led Watery actually because I want to have blue for Glint Nest. I was supposed to lead Watery actually, and then I can place Citadel. Whoop. Alright, so let's Crane. I know we took 2 damage. I didn't need to. I know, chat. I know. Okay. We will take Foundry. Sad to bottom a Karn, but it's how the Karn crumbles. How that cookie crumbles. If we play Urborg, we can Pentad and Foundry next turn. Who knows, maybe because I said, you know, I hope we don't get stonied for the rest of the league. Like, we're just going to play mono-stony matchups now. That'd be karma, right? Karma for our Karns that seem to be doing really well. So yeah, black-blue. Well, let's attack first. Black-blue, Pentad. Oops. Blue here. Now, even if we don't find... We've got plenty of mana. So, even if we don't find... disenchant. Alright, hold up. Mana, Foundry, Cracks, Prism. Yeah, disenchant. So this is fine. We'll make 2 Thopters. Foundry sacrifices itself. And I can Academy that back, but I'd rather wait until we have the other piece. We'll probably take some natural draws. Because we have a lot of cards that result in piecing to get. Now that we have Ruins, like... Ooh, he's going to Surgical that too? Fair enough, opponent. Does not want us to be able to Thopter Sword. Okay. Fair enough, opponent. We still have lots of things. We still have plenty of win conditions. I know, chill, opponent. Man. I mean, I'm much happier to see Disenchant Surgical than something like Stony. I am overjoyed. I should be thanking our opponent, right? That this is their turn 2 play. They mulligan for us. Because I don't see Leyline doing anything. I mean, it turns off me pinging them with... I mean, we kind of have our answer to Stony, by the way. Like, a lot of these Grixis-colored Tesserator style decks in Modern, like, they play Gearper as kind of their out to Stony Silence. Which, by the way, if we'd had Stony Silence that one game against Blue-White in play, that could have been a thing. There's Bridge. I don't want to expose the Academy Ruins. Opponent considering fielding me? Okay. But you saw the Academy. I don't know. Island. Well, we played Bridge. Maybe they're just covered in sideboard cards and we beat them down with these 3. Hardcast Leyline of Sanctity. Ooh, nope. Ranger of Eos. It's not good juju, chat. I mean, they tend to win through attacking, but the Emeria is scary. Fatal Push. Yeah, with these martyrs, it'll take a long time to beat down. Which is where the opponent wants to be, you know. Oh, okay, he's gonna cast out the Ensnaring Bridge. That's awkward. I don't have a sacrifice engine either to protect it. That technically triggered Revolt, though, right, chat? Not that Ranger's really what we want to kill. There are other threats in their deck that are much scarier, but I think that technically gave me a Revolt there because this left play. If you want to get technical. Oh, how we just draw another one. We do have a lot of copies of Bridge. I don't want to expose the Academy to fields. What's awkward is Field of Ruin does kind of mess up the Academy in a lot of different ways. So we'll put him low. We'll force him to have to use some of these Martyr of Sands before he really has enough white cards, I think, to really gain a lot of life. He'll still gain quite a bit. It's 3 times X, so depending on how many white cards he has, he's going to Ghost Quarter his Flagstones. Okay. Got a Thin. Ooh, Mistveil Plains. That's fun. Yeah, Squadron Hawk. I figured Squadron Hawk's probably in here too. Hawk, of course, tons of life, right? Because it's we can make him pop the Martyr earlier than he'd want to. I think that's still maybe a waste of the push, because like we're pressuring, so he has to consider doing it anyway. Yeah, we're pressuring, so he has to consider popping the Martyr next turn anyway. I think that's a waste of a push. path. So opponent had like basically infinite life, right? Mox. We just bought him 2 Karn though. Rough. Don't want to expose the Fatal Push. I mean the Academy to Ghost Quarter. So I'll probably just play out this other Moxen. This matchup, if you thought the blue-white match was slow, like this match can really drag on depending on what they draw. So that gives us Revolt. We've got some whammy cards still in our deck. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to fetch just so we shuffle the Karns back in. So we bottom 3, right? 2 Great Creators, and we saw the Karn sign of Urza. I probably should fetch because we know a lot of our juicy cards are on the bottom right now due to the Cranes. Unfortunate that Crane isn't, you know... Oh, Stony? We're probably dead now. I told you guys, I was like, man, Karma, we're probably going to face mono Stony Silence decks for the rest of this league, right? So now I have to find gear per Aether Grid. So actually I shouldn't have fetched. Well, no, I'd need to fetch for red mana, though, which we might lose to the Ghost Quarter. What's up, Sherlock? So their hand is Path, Sarah, Ascendant, Sarah, Ascendant. He paths his own Ranger. He's looking to turn on the Myria. Plains. Yeah, he's just trying to get to this Emeria. I don't have a way to push it, though. Thanks for those bits, Sherlock. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, he's just trying to get to enough planes to turn on the Emeria. So we Karn? What do we do with Karn? Lattice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Might see him path. So he just really wants to turn on this Emeria. Don't think I let him. We were kind of considering spending the push on the Ascendant anyway. So we fizzle that path. So Sans Serra Ascendant 1 unknown. Oh, Stony Silence. Really, the Aether Grids and the Karns are really the only way to make it through that. I mean, they do have graveyard stuff, but I think I still only want 1 relic. I think I'd rather have the battles and the capsules and pushes. So let's run it back. This is total karma, chat, right? We build a deck that's pretty soft to Stony Silence, and now we've played against two, actually technically three Stony Silence decks in a row, right? Because we can. It's pretty safe to assume that both our second round and third round blue-white opponents probably had some number of Stonies. We beat the one that didn't draw it, lost to the one that did. Just a bit too much of our mana base is artifact based, like opals, the citadels, the prisms. So, you know, we can get shut down pretty hard due to an early. I mean, we're on the draw. This hand is pretty weak to Stony, but it's got Crane. I wish it had some fast mana. It doesn't have any. Opponent kept 7 pretty quickly, which suggests he's got the Stony. There we go. I hate the bottom Karn, but mana source, mana source. Hate the bottom Karn, but we need mana. I may not even play out the border post. If the assumption is opponent has Stony here. I mean, they might have just had a solid 7, right? It's possible. Also, playing border post exposes us to this, even the disenchant he showed us. So I don't know if I want to put this in. Well, we drew the Steam Vents, which allows us to make the border post play, but I don't know if I'm supposed to, chat. Could get riggedy wrecked from that. Could get wrecked from this line. But you know, even though we have the Aether Grid, we're still pretty wrecked from Stony regardless. It's just the problem with this line is it sets us back. If he does it the Stony, definitely sets me back if he has Disenchant because he might fire it off on the border post. So lots of reasons why this is risky. Risky line is risky. On the bright side, we turn on Opal. It's too bad I can't get the Aether Grid out there and toast the Ascendant. So it is going to get big enough to avoid this in a moment here. Although, hold on, chat. Although I didn't need to shock this in. I should have played one of these. I just got excited about the fact that I can block the Ascendant. And he didn't show his path, which he probably would have. So I could turn this Opal into a relevant blocker for the Ascendant so that he can't grow the Ascendant to the 6/6. Although now I'm thinking I crack the border post, but that turns off the Opal. Okay, Black Blade. So Black Blade makes it so I can't block the Ascendant. Decides to go with Vigilance, actually. Instead of Indestructible? Is he thinking that I'm not going to make the Thopter? Huh. I mean, I'm going to make the Thopter because this thing gets huge if he gains 1 life. Interesting. Oh, it gains the life and then immediately grows. It's kind of like Tarmogoyf. My bad. Hey, nobody in chat said anything either. That's awful for us. So it's kind of like it's state based, kind of like Tarmogoyf growing from a new card type entering the graveyard. Hey, we learned something new. We also drew an answer to Gideon. Ugh. All right. What are we gonna do here, chat? We're gonna play this and pray. I mean, at least this wasn't. At least this didn't go the route of how that other game we played against Stony did the other match. Like we're actually still playing Magic, but yeah, no, it's state based like Tarmogoyf. The life is gained the same time the damage is dealt. Therefore, the text. It actually all of that stuff happens at the same time. All of it happens, right? Shame concede? No, no. But the Mox is relevant because I can't get bridges quickly. Like if I'd kept the Mox, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if I'd kept Mox, we could get bridge next turn. I mean, barring the opponent having an answer. But yes, unfortunate. We have to draw like a 0 mana. We have to draw a Mox or something. We could make like a Thopter try to stay alive. Drew Karn. Like we also shocked where I didn't need to shock. Just like lots of little things we did kind of ruined us. So we play Karn, we die. If I block Sarah Senate, we still die. So I'd have to like make 2 Thopters, hope to top deck. Hang on, can I just go get Sword? I can get Sword, but I won't have any mana for it. I can get Capsule, but not enough mana to activate it. No, we threw it away. I don't know if we could still have won it, even if that went our way, right? If we... I mean, there's a reasonable chance opponent has the answer to the disenchant. For testing purposes, we could ask them after we concede, but no guarantee they stay to talk to us about it. Yeah. That's unfortunate, chat. I thought that was a clutch play. Maybe I should have thought about it a second time when they attacked. Obviously, opponent's going to know Sarah Senate better than I do, or better than anybody in chat does. So it's state-based. Yeah, I don't see a line. All right. We will ask him, though. Maybe he'll stay in chat for a moment. I think it's moot. I think at that point, whether or not there was an answer... All right, let's still try to prize this. So our losses were, surprise, surprise, Stony Silence decks, right? That's terrible, Puddin' Stars. I hope that heals. Hope that heals well. That's awful, my friend. Getting a hole in your hand like that. And speaking of awful, that last match, whew. All right, fingers crossed. Not a fourth Stony Silence deck. Gosh. Fingers crossed that it's not a 4th Stony Silence deck. So we played against Dredge, beat that. Played against Blue White, managed to beat that. Played against Blue White, lost. Both of them. We only know for sure one of them had Stony though, but it's pretty safe to assume Stony was probably in the sideboard of both. That's standard stock. Then we played against Mono White Martyr, which I haven't seen in years. And they had Stony. So let's finish out this league in style. That's sad though, right? I really haven't gotten the chance to play against something like Martyr Proc in a long time. Or I think it was just All right, hang on. Do we keep this? I probably do. We're on the draw, but this has a basic border post. It's got Thopter Sword. So we have found potentially not a Stony Silence matchup. This is the burn matchup. We have brutalities. We hope to see them. Thopter Sword, quite good in this matchup if we can get it out before bad things happen to us. Lavamancer's on the slow side. Love seeing Lava Man in the main decks again. I think that's been long overdue. Oh, he's a Black Splash. Interesting. Karns just want to have fun indeed. Rift Bolt. Okay. Draw us a land because you're the Goblin Guide. Nope. Glint Nest. Maybe Glint Nest is better than just trying to stick the pieces to the Thopter Sword. So if I stick a piece to Thopter Sword here and then play another piece next turn, we can make one token though. If I play Crane, it just blocks Guide nicely. I think I'm just supposed to Foundry. And we should try to target, we should try to be careful when we make the tokens, right? Play around Skullcrack. Bump in the Night. Another Rift Bolt. The only other card I would consider casting instead would be exactly Brutality, which we do have copies of. I mean, that would have just gone face instead. Does he have 8? That would be awful if he had Xaxes. Spike, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We die. Dang, nice draws, opponent. Okay, okay. We needed to win. We needed to win the dice roll was actually what we needed to win. So we'll bring in the extra push. We'll bring in the battle, number 2. Other tin that, Sculler might actually be fine. The relics are irrelevant. And we run it back. That's sad. We needed to win the dice roll, chat. Actually, Witchbane should come in as a Whir target, actually. Over Urza. Karn, Urza Karn. You'd think that this wouldn't be a terrible matchup for me, though, with like battles and brutalities and the fact that we're all in on the Thopter Sword. In our 75, we have four Thopters, and we can't keep this, right? I don't really want to keep this either, but I mean, this might just be like land, die. Hope to top to some interaction. I probably still should have mulliganed, chat. Alright, draw us a land because you're the Goblin Guide. Or let me see your brutality. Battle at the bridge, we will take it. Another Goblin Guide. Alright, so land and what was the other reveal? Karn the Great. Alright. Not ready for you, Karn. So we kill one of these with battle. So kill one, gain 2. Follow up with orb. You know what's awkward though? I mean, we still play Witchbane Orb, absolutely. Still gonna take a lot of damage off of his creatures though, until we can wear out Bridge. Yeah, he had a creature draw, so the Witchbane not all that great. And it's actually really relevant that we got a bunch of cards in my hand right there. But I can Karn for explosives, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just shy, isn't it? Play Karn, get explosives, blow up the dudes. It doesn't quite work. We can play Karn though, and well, can I? Yeah, I can't get under Bridge. I was just thinking about Bridge for a moment there. So, well, we play Inventor's Fair because it gains us life. So we have blue, blue, blue for Whir anyway. We play Karn. Animate Witchbane because it's until my next turn, right? Yeah, until my next turn. So that'll block. We can capsule. I mean, we got our wish. We wanted a match. I wanted a match where, um, yeah, we got our wish. Riftbolt, okay. Riftbolt's gonna go after my Karn. I mean, the Goblin Guides are what's preventing us from maybe going under Bridge, but Swift Spear's less. Probably take out Swift Spear. Just less power, and he could prowess after the fact. So gain a life. I mean, don't you just Mycosynth? Because I'm at 5. Well, no, the Riftbolt. Well, Riftbolt can't target us. I think you just Mycosynth Lattice. Because he doesn't kill us that turn with the Goblin Guides. Mycosynth turns off the Blood Crypt, so there's nothing else happening. I mean, we just need to not die what he has in play in the Riftbolt. Yeah, I can't quite get under Bridge still. I could just take out the Goblin Guides with that line we were talking about where I just go get explosives. Could just go blow up the dudes. I think that's honestly just the right line, because since we can't get under Bridge this turn, I think I just explosives them. So I shouldn't have spent the Executioner's Capsule, actually, if this was my line. But anyway. Isn't it weird that we naturaled the Witchbane, by the way? It was a little strange. No, he can Riftbolt the Karn. See, I don't know if I actually want more cards, do I? Like, did we want these triggers? Karn. Can I... Whir... I almost would just want to assemble Thopter Sword. But that makes it so I can't cast, or I can't... I was just thinking if I want to shuffle in between the Goblin Guide triggers. Blow that up. So what am I doing with this Karn? Could just assemble sword. I mean, lattice wins the fastest. So that is what we will do. Ooh, he's got a Rakdos charm. Ooh, and I don't have blue 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 open. We may be dead, chat. It kills Karn. Plays bump. We're going up to 5 life. I think I just get back the Witchbane though. I don't think we get fancy. I'm just trying to think of the ways that we lose this. So now he's back on the creature plan unless he has another artifact removal spell. One, two, three, four, five, six. Don't you still lead Karn, or do we want to get the lattice on the table, then play the Karn? Then he has to have exactly 2 burn spells that go direct to the Karn. Light up the stage, finds Rakdos charm, but too late. Yeah, this is kind of weird to maneuver. I don't know if I like how our deck played. And again, I don't think I played it great. I'm sure there were like a couple different things here and there that I could have sequenced or done differently. And I can't complain, right? We saw a cyber card. We saw a battle. It was relevant. We went low enough that it was relevant. That we killed a goblin guy and gained some life. Still, like, the fatal push would have gained us the same amount of life, though, right? Like, you really you want to lead on like these, and then we want to cast battle, kind of during the mid game. So my buddy Tyler's not getting here for another 2 hours, so you guys have another 2 hours with me tonight. Hope you appreciate that, because I have to let him in. What else am I gonna do? This has battle, but the mana's awkward. As much as I want to keep that hand, I don't think I can. We're not going to turn on this Moxen, but this hand would play Foundry. Actually going to bottom that. I know, he's playing Goblin Guide, so it's tempting to leave that on top, because it might just be... Oh, Grim Lava. Okay. It's a slower start. Why are you playing Border Post? Crane. Our artifact count was a little low, so we snuck in some Border Posts into the mana base. Artifact count before the Border Posts. I don't know if we tested it or not before we jumped in the league, to be honest. I can't remember. But I think our artifact count was a little bit lower than I wanted it to be. So I trimmed a couple lands and turned them into Border Posts. Artifact count's only 22. That's on the low side. Or no. Citadels. It is actually 26 artifacts. Which I'm much happier with. bump in the night. Happens, Jade. Oh, you play Thopter Sword? I'd love to see your list, because I just tossed this together, Jace to the face. I would be down to see your list. Okay, we definitely Prism instead. Rakdos Charm. Okay, well, I don't really want to go for... I was going to go for... I was considering the Orb, but now... Ooh, Brutality, that's insane for us. They only have one card left, though, in their hand. So I'm actually going to kill and drain and ditch this extra Mox. So he'll activate Lava Man. I mean, we could bait him to use the Rakdos Charm on the Foundry. It just sucks that it would take up a Sunburst counter to put this into play now, and then maybe he's tempted to spend the Rakdos Charm on it before the Rakdos Charm goes away. Or no, let's just be patient. It's gonna go away. Yeah, what am I talking about? We just let this go away. Maybe he spends it on my Pentad Prism. But I think that's fine if that's what he decides to do. What about whirring in response? I can whir for 1 in response, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I can do a lot more. This card's just so good with whir. Good call. Man, this card's excellent. The Pentad Prism works so very well with whir. Thank you, Big Bob. I appreciate you. So let's assemble Thopter Sword, right? Yeah. That was sick. That was sick-tastic, chat. Sick, nasty. And I think we just do it now. Like Skullcrack is something on the mind. I think we just do this now. Well, we got our dream matchup, right? We got a matchup that wasn't... Game's not over yet, but... Well, probably, but... even if they blew up the Foundry, we could Inventor's Fair for another Foundry. So we did prize, but we went up against 3 Stony Silence decks, and we only beat one of them. So maybe we want to add actual answers to Stony, or maybe more Aether Grid, or maybe main decks. Well, we wouldn't want to main deck it because it's just there for... That was awesome. Nicely done, chat. We could splash in a direction that answers Stony, which would be like Abrupt Decay. That's something common I've seen out of like Tezzerators or Thopter Swords. You play Sultai for Assassins. Awesome. I like this deck enough that we can fiddle around with it a little bit more. So you would actually splash us into another color. We don't need the Urborg, by the way. I didn't realize that till later because we were originally going to play, I think, Damnation. We ended up going to just a single black mana base, so we don't need the Urborg. I mean, I like Aether Grid. It's just Pentad gives us green. Blast Zone could work. Things that we never got. We never got the Torpor Orb. I know it's good. I know there are uses for it. I know that, chat, but we never used it. So that would give us more space Um, I think that we actually need a little bit more mana than what I'm playing. Um, I think Battle is a sideboard card at best. So we're gonna add another land. But that I'm trying to free up some room for us to play. I want to test two battles though. I like the card, but um, is Border Post a good choice if you're only playing four basics? I added some fetch. So we've got, I think we're at 10. 9, 10. We're at 10. You should just play Spellbomb instead of Relic. Relic was here for its synergy with Karn. Because we can Karn back stuff. We could do a split. You should be playing Psy. Psy seems sweet. Thought about Psy. Is Psy like the way we want to go instead of like trying to fight over Stony? We just slam Psy and then like make tokens. I do want some more mana. Yeah, I mean, even with just two border posts, I can get behind like even maybe one more fetch. Yeah, but you could also sack Spellbomb back. Oh, Spellbomb plus Sword wombo. Yeah. Yeah, you sack the Spellbomb to the Thopter Foundry, then you pay for the ability. Side does get nutty with this deck. Okay. I mean, is that what we want to do instead? If we were more red, I actually like Pia and Kieran Nalar. Is this what we want to do instead? I think either grid's sweet though. See, I don't think I necessarily want to gun for Stony, even though it was unfortunate that we faced it tonight. I don't necessarily want to gun for it. Cloister could also be mainboard as a Whir target. I think you're playing 5 fetches. You should play Bauble. It'll make your deck run smoother. Baubles will make us run smoother. Oh yeah, Baubles for Opal. I could get behind that. We could also main deck the Crypt instead of these two. Yeah, Mishra's Baubles. Like 2 or 3. I actually, as much as I don't know if I like the Crane and the Hedge and everything that we did with like the border posts and all. To be honest, I mean, as much as I like this card, I think we'd be better off just running the stuff that's more bursty with Whir and just, yeah, I think after all, that's what I'm gonna do. I know we tried to make it work. I like that card, but I think it was a little difficult to get it to do the things. Let's main deck one of these. Let's put the Cloister back in the Karn board, actually. Yeah. We could try Psy. Psy, I obviously make like if we're adding the Bauble package, like I like Psy a lot more. So mana sources. We also, I think, as strange as it seems, it felt like we didn't have enough mana in the deck, but it is a big mana deck. Um, you play 22 lands. So that's what I was about to do, actually. It's funny you say that. I actually just want. So I thought about playing 2 to 3 shores. I kind of just want really clean early game mana that we don't take damage off of in the meta. Like that was, we came in really close tonight, and I wonder if we'd taken a little bit less damage off of our mana, if we could have done a little better. Just something I'm just thinking out loud with you guys, but I think that might have done a little better. Am I on the right split of swords and Thopters, by the way? I'm playing 3 Foundry, 2 Sword, and then one of each piece in the Karn board. Like, should we look like this? We could run it back. I just don't want to be regretting, like, we're in the middle of... I mean, there are other lands we could play. There's, like, River of Tears, if we want to go deep. Which, there's only one card that Tears is awkward with. Well, I guess technically 2. The only the only plays that we're sad we have River is specifically Fatal Push during their turn. All of our black spells are sorcery speed other than the 2 Fatal Push. So usually this is just, black when we're casting like Brutality or playing Capsule or Foundry, but it's blue for Whir. Why don't you just play Spire of Industry? Well, Spire is literally just for grid. I mean, I could get behind this. It's just with like really important 4 mana plays that our deck has or more, it will really stink for us to sometimes hit these Dark Slicks when we're trying to do the thing. I'm down for like a Rainbow Land or 2. I mean, we have a lot of triple... I mean, like, I don't think the Gear Purs are going to be a problem. I don't think they're going to be an issue. Because think about it. 4 Opals, 4 Prisms. All of our fetches are able to get the Steam Vents. I think I want to give these a try. These are classic, but underplayed, underrated. Specialty lands. But yeah, I'm down for trying some number of Spire. Maybe just 1 for now. Okay, let me pick up the cards, and we will jam another league, because I got to buy time for my buddy Tyler to get here. And he may be too tired, chat, to play Cube like we did the other night. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, we'll play some size. I mean, there's Saheeli to consider as well. We're probably happier with this, though. Probably happier with these 2 versus new Saheeli. This is easier to cast, right? Not that blue is all that tough for us, being a Whir deck. Do we want to try a split of Sai and new Saheeli? Why don't you just play Blast Zone? Could try a split. Blast Zone and 2 Wests. I mean, what else is West finding, though? We could just play Blast Zone even without the ability to tutor for it, Jace. I think that's a lot. That's pretty heavy, what you're proposing. It's not me saying you're wrong. I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. But, it's on the heavy side. I think I don't mind incidentally drawing it, but I think you play Welding Jars. I am playing a Tormod script. It's in the Karn board. The Scion Urza, the other Karn didn't really do all that much. I mean, we only saw it a few times. It was very relevant against blue-white, but we ended up losing anyway. I mean, I think he's fine, but it's He's just an advantage engine, whereas like Cloister would theoretically, you know, do something similar. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's bad. I'm just saying we're trying to squeeze down a little bit. Get bold and play faithless looting, yeah, for sword value. I mean, with these baubles, maybe I am supposed to go back down to 21 lands. His his first minus is so good though. We'll leave him. We'll leave him. We'll leave the miser sign of Urza. Um, yeah, I mean, welding. I mean, welding jar is sweet. It is a really mana efficient way to keep bridge on the table. Um, I just don't know where I would want to put it. You know, the blast zone is kind of a neat idea. I just don't know. It's not like we're playing Crucible or anything like that. Your meta has a lot of shadow. The capsule was sweet tonight. Oh, did we shave down to one? We did shave down to one capsule. I did. No, I like the capsule tonight. Even if that's leftovers from when we were trying to shove more artifacts in the list for the when we were playing Crane. Well, why don't we stop here as far as like making changes? We'll get these cards. She is really cheap. Saheeli, Sublime. She is an uncommon in a heavily drafted set, so I guess that makes sense. Appreciate your patience, guys. We're gonna run this back. That is my plan. We should have enough budget to get these. I do. Cool. Is Needleworth? I have not run into either of those archetypes, Jace. Your meta is fascinating. Your meta is indeed fascinating. I tried the Neoform deck. I thought it was cool, but we kind of got off of it pretty quickly. I don't know. We'll see, Jace. We'll see. Like in the main board, I kind of just like were just getting um, something to break up combo, graveyard hate, Thopter pieces, and bridge. Karn kind of gets some of the more specific pieces, like Spyglass. We've set it up so that he's getting things that are only good if we already have him. Some of these more specific cards. But I totally see what you're saying, Jace. I mean, maybe it is worth. But let's run it back with not too many changes. I mean, this is a pretty big shift going from the... This is already a pretty sizable shift for us. But I appreciate your suggestions. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, Jace. Hang on, let's just rename it so I don't get confused. It's this one. We're good. All right, so we played against Blue White twice, beat it once, lost to it, and then we lost to Mono White Martyr. Like I shouldn't laugh. It's a cool deck. We got stonied. We died. Actually, no, that's not what beat us. We made a misplay. That's what happened. I made a mistake. Right? I did like a really greedy block and then didn't think about the state-based interaction of the life gain. It was kind of a sad moment. So I actually can't blame that second loss to the Stony, but just frustrating to play something sweet but end up against that many Stony decks. Right? Three of them. Like I was kind of happy to see burn that last round, you know? But yeah, I think I like this setup. We'll see. All right. Round 2. Fight. Now this hand looks a lot healthier and happier. Keep it. Fair can find the other piece. Like we want our openers to look more like this, where we just come out of the gates really fast. Like, yes, Triple Prism is a ton of mana, like maybe a little bit more than we need. But, I mean, we are a big mana deck. It's a little awkward that the first Prism is not going to get double color because we drew the Inventor's Fair for our second land. Alright, so we're playing against Blue-White again. So we're 1-1 for this matchup. It's tough because it's not just that they're a control deck, they're a control deck on Stony Silence. So hopefully some of those additional cards, we don't really have a choice on this first Prism. But it gets us a little closer to what we actually want to do. Okay, we can sneak the Foundry down. That turns on Opal. Honestly, against Blue-White, maybe I convert these Pentad Prisms on the aggressive side into Thopters. This is a dead card in this matchup. So he's going to take us off fair, so I can't assemble Thopter Sword. I respect that opponent. Does mean they're not doing much else with their turn, but I do respect what they did just there. We've got plenty of mana. I almost just want to converge on... I mean, maybe we don't want to go over overboard on that. Maybe I just turn the Mox. Oh, geez, more dead cards. I hope his hand is just like a bunch of... Oops. Hope his hand's just a bunch of removal. Not sweepers, like I'm talking like path. You don't know what to cut? No, let's keep it as is. Let's keep it as is. Left it on top, whatever it was. I can't kill the Jace even if I pop both of these pentads. We just drew the whole playset of them. Like, I don't really want to make more Thopters than that. It sucks that we've drawn a lot of our removal. But I mean, we're oriented to, you know, another Jace plus. I mean, he's not Jace storming, which I think I'm happy with. What do I think about Oathbreaker? I just don't want to overcommit. Wants to return it in. I think I'd rather have this in hand than sacrifice it for a Thopter here, because then it's just verdict. He bottomed. Okay. Drew Karn. You guys put him on 2-mana counterspell as well. It's very possible. I mean, this might unfortunately be my window. We can't actually, because we didn't draw land, we can't beat... Oh, okay. Do we just make Dude? Colonnade, though. Can't cast Whir, even if I was just thinking about whether or not I want to do the Bobble now or Bobble later. Plains. So now we see a Jace Storm. So sad to see these two in this matchup, but okay, so there's the verdict. So we have a Whir of Invention that Karn could minus for. But unfortunately, my main board is set up so that I like taking them off of Logic Knot. And Snapcaster as well. It's a lot of mana. What are we going to do, chat? I don't think I actually want the Whir, unfortunately. So now we have a Thopter. Maybe I still should have made... I mean, I just don't believe it would live with him having 6 cards in hand, the construct, but maybe I should just start pumping out constructs. Like if I don't pump out constructs, opponent's just gonna start J-storming the game away. I mean, we have the Colonnade check. I don't know why I was being so scared with minusing the Karn. I think in theory we should have one out at a time. Yeah, because like Jace is at 1 loyalty, so it's not like he can just bounce them profitably. Well, no, since, I mean, we've got the Fatal Push checks the first Colonnade he tries to go after the Karn with, so maybe we should be minusing. Time Raveler. Now that's a non-option. Well, the whole gang's here, unfortunately. But we did find that this matchup's difficult, right? We played it twice in our last league. Now we have to face Stony Silences as well, which is unfortunate. But okay, what did we bring in last time against Blue White? We brought in Spyglass and Cloister, and that's it. Run it back. If they play Narset, they get bingo. Maybe. And that's fine. I mean, I think there's an influx of people trying out the new toys. Or I mean, maybe with some of the new toys from War and the cards coming out from Modern Horizons, like maybe Blue White really is gonna start to make up a much higher percentage of our meta. Narset puzzle box. So yeah, I mean, I wish I had more stuff for Stony Silence. Are we just gonna have another Stony Silence heavy league? That would be unfortunate. I'll probably keep this though. It's got Aether Grid. So these baubles are going to let us land the Aether Grid next turn. That's why I didn't play them out, because I'm thinking of just kind of surprise turning this on. I guess I didn't even need to play this guy. But let's get the Aether Grid on the table. Another Mox. Oops. Ashiok, huh? Maybe I shouldn't have cracked them as quickly as I did, right? Back up Thopter Foundry if he wants to fight over these. Doesn't play Ashiok, so obviously has another piece of permission. Yeah, maybe I cracked those baubles too soon because they were keeping the opal turned on. But in fairness, if I hadn't cracked them, we wouldn't be on the Karn right now. Yeah, the old Ashiok Field of Ruin. Oh, Narset, okay. We're a little more vulnerable to Narset now that we've added baubles to our build. Okay, Veto. So close to just playing the Karn, right? I mean, we can get the Foundry down. Um, I mean, we can shoot the Narset. Ping Narset it. Well, no, it can still minus. Yeah, he may just minus it. Finds a Jace. If he slams Jace, though, we can play Karn. Yeah, I like these baubles a lot. I think they'll help the deck flow. Detention Sphere. Probably going to go after Aether Grid. Yeah, that's what I would go after too. Well, if he doesn't have 1 mana interaction, okay, he's got the veto. I hate just playing bridge, say go, but I think that's what I'm doing. I don't want to just play right into the veto here. I might just turn the bridge into a Thopter. I think I'm actually going to play that out so that I can make 2 more Thopters just in case he plays Jace. Facing a lot of blue-white tonight. This will be our 3rd match against it. I mean, I know there are other decks. There are other decks in Modern, okay? Just because I keep getting paired against it doesn't mean everybody's playing blue-white. Explosives. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not that interested in the bridge. I think I'd rather have a token. Do we go all in on the... I guess so, because like we can cast every spell in our deck anyway. So I think I go in on the Thopters, force him to have a second detention sphere, force him to have still some sweepers. I mean, sure, it could be as simple as second detention sphere. Sure, it could be he left in some verdicts, but I think I do this. And the night is young. I mean, if we, I know, despite my yawning, if he, ends up nuking the board. Yeah, right? This Splashiok he just never really had a window to play. But it is neat with Field of Ruin. Oh no, abilities your opponents control, so no, it's not a wombo with Field. So we're not the controller of said ability. You got a list for me, Jace to the face? Been invited to join Whir Prison. Appreciate the invite. So we get to kill Jace, and we get to play our Karn. What's not to like? I don't really want him to see that my last card is Island. There's no Colonnade. Do we think we're keeping the Karn? Or do we just want to go get explosives to bust out our detention sphere? I mean, sorry, get the detention sphere off of our Gear per Aether Grid. I think it's explosives, chat. Especially since this is the 5th land. And I still don't even need to play. So we'll send... So 3 at Jace, 1 at face, 1 back for Snapcaster Mage. He's at 12 though, it's kind of negligible. I almost would rather just make it so he needs just to get to Karn. I think the 1 damage to the face is pretty negligible. Yeah, thanks for the invite. Jace to the face. I'll check out some of the content on there. He still has this veto though, right? Interesting. What am I supposed to do here? We have 6 lands now. Okay, he lets the explosives resolve. Just to make sure. Gonna send all at Jace. And this Explosives on 3 also checks things like Narset, Ashiok, Vendilion Click. So unfortunately, he gets to take my Lattice. Oh, he targets himself. Bottomed the veto? Huh. The fairy to tuck. Tuck Karn. Oh, he's plussing. Okay. Plays Colonnade. I mean, he must have Counterspell here. There's really no other conclusion. Could be second Detention Sphere, D-Sphere Karn. That would also break up the combo, but I'd probably still stick Lattice. Whir. Okay. So I can whir for what's come in now? A draw engine. It would mean attacking with one fewer Thopter. Right? This just looks like I'm respecting Colonnade when really I'm planning to go get the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. This looks like I'm respecting Colonnade, but really I'm just thinking about Spell Queller. Okay. Assuming he still has a counterspell up for the for Lattice. I mean, we know one of his cards is an Ashiok, so I don't know how stacked. Excuse me. I don't know how stacked our opponent's hand is at the moment, but I think worrying up a draw engine is good. Okay, Blast Zone thankfully can't take out the Thopters. I'm sad to have lost a Thopter there. This is a lot of mana. This is like a Sphinx's Rev or something. I mean, if he's animating Colonnade to attack with both, we could whir into Bridge. Time Raveler, okay. Interesting, he wants to return the Thopter. Oh, in response to the Time Raveler, I should have whirred. I keep forgetting about the text, the passive ability on that thing, because now I just kind of time walked myself. Where I kind of needed to jam, I needed to jam the whir into the first counter, and then follow up with Lattice. Well, but we wouldn't have had. Well, I guess if in response to the Teferi Time Raveler, I think I was supposed to whir for Bridge actually. Oh, is this follow up another Planeswalker? Oh, he's just moving on up. That's unfortunate, chat. I should have whirred up bridge, and he would have maybe fought there, and then I could have stuck Lattice. But we wouldn't have had Karn anymore because we're assuming he would win that fight. I'm probably just better off just shooting instead of trying to... And now I can whir during his turn. If he also animates Colonnade, I probably, instead of getting... I was thinking I was going to get... I mean, I'm at 23, so I'm thinking I'm just going to end step for Draw Engine, follow up with Mycosynth. Because Mycosynth being on the table, I mean, any Karn we draw is GG. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he wants to blow up grid. There's field, so let's actually shock here. Okay, so he did have a veto. Now he may not bother with it, and he may just try to fight over the Karns. This is our first match of the new league, right? Yeah, it is. Feels like it's been years since we started the new league. Yeah, liquid metal could have been better. We would have maybe got some lands. Presuming it resolved, right, Jace? So he opts first. Hindsight, right? Hindsight. Yeah, he could also tuck it, but like it doesn't, you know, without Karn, it won't do anything. I mean, it depends on his hand. But he's just really pulling ahead with the Teferi. And now also a Supreme Verdict. Yep. I mean, I just assume he has another counterspell, unfortunately for us. We're kind of just... We have all the mana. That's aggressive, isn't it? Yep, that's the third Stony Silence we've seen tonight, chat. The third one. He's got to have a counterspell in his hand. Even if we hit Karn here. Oh yeah, no, he's using the lattice against us, lol. No, we're gonna get beat down by snaps. I kind of want to see it happen. This kind of makes me happy. That's the spice. But imagine if we had Urza in this scenario. I'm just curious what our next few draws would have been. A Whir. Everything's turned off. I can't cast anything. That's why opponent flashed in there, or played their snaps. This is just kind of a hilarious scenario, isn't it? I wonder if there's a world where we're going to get a league where it's not all Stony Silence matchups, right? Nah, I'm just playing around, being a little pretend salty. We're gonna see plenty of people testing the new hotness blue white. What's up, disc jockey? Nope. Nope. But I never concede. On principle, right? That's like Reed Duke right there. Ooh, I could have put the Inventor's Fair into play to gain life. Or, I don't even have enough artifacts to do so. Almost gained that precious life. Alright, good games. Okay. It's gonna happen, chat. So that's the fourth Stony Silence match we've had tonight. We're gonna find some decks. There's gonna be some decks. They don't have Stony. We're gonna get to play against them. It's gonna happen. I believe it. I believe it. Oh yeah, we have tons of artifacts. It definitely would have gained us life, but we were at 2 life. He was dealing 4. All right, no idea what our opponent's on, so we'll keep. I think this hand's fine. I mean, it's very good against a creature deck. It's mediocre against something that's not a creature deck. And we should save the fetches since we're playing a bauble variant now, right? So we shouldn't just fire these off. Well, it might not be a Stony Silence deck. Holy cow, it might not be. Might not be a Stony Silence deck. Hey, what's up, Part Trap? Playing like a Toolbox Karn meme. We did prize last league despite running into Stony Silence as much as we did. It sucks to start off this league with Stony. I mean, I guess we should have presumed that we're going to run into a couple Stony Silences over the course of our tournament life, right? Card's pretty ridiculous. Oh, is this Mardu Pyromancer? Holy crap. Holy cow. It might be. I'm trying to think of what other deck that I know of that plays Dragon Skull Summit, because we played a Mardu Pyro the other day ourselves, and it was indeed playing Dragon Skull Summit. Mardu Pyro, Mardu Tokens has been everywhere lately. Really? I'm excited. Maybe it's Goryo. Goryo plays Dragon Skull. I could see that. Opponent concedes. Okay. So if they concede to bridge, they are playing Goryo. How do we board against Goryo? Goryo's Vengeance. We probably just want to put the Tormods in. Right? We want to make it a Whir target. How else do we board? Guess we bring that in, because I wouldn't really want to slow tutor for it. So what am I even leaving as Karn board targets, though? Explosives, Lattice, Cloister, Bridge, Sword Combo, Coding, Capsule. I mean, these are flying tokens. That's relevant, I guess. Maybe just more win conditions. We also want to test those two. Not that this is the matchup to test them. Yeah, good guess, disc jockey. Hollow One's on the rise. We're going to mulligan this. We'll keep. Oh, he's trying to natural discard his combo? That's scary. I think we'll still respect Blood Moon. They do play Blood Moon's post board. He's trying to natural discard his Grizzlebrand. If you suspect Stony, just play some more Rulatus. Yeah. Or opponent accidentally skipped their first turn is the other conclusion. Chalice on 0. It does turn off Mox and Baubles. I mean, this hurts us more now with this build. Thankfully, we don't have one yet. All right, there's the boar. Big pig. Big pig, 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 big pig, pig, pig. All right, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about it, chat? We're probably just gonna play the Prism. It's a big pig. Yeah, I mean, this is just... we don't care about Chalice on 1. I actually considered building this as a Chalice on 1 configuration. It was considered. And now we don't have the... Well, he's got Chalice on 1 and 2, so it wouldn't equate to that anyway. So yeah, we play Karn. Let's not play the Opal into the Chalice on 0. I could punch them with the Thopter Foundry. Nah, we're going to minus. Probably get bridge. Can't you just plus on Karn on the Chalice? Oh, yeah. I could have blown up the Chalice on 0 to let me play Opal. Good call. If he doesn't kill me right here, we should definitely do that. Thanks, chat. Nice work, chat. Good job, chat. Good chat. Good chat. See, and it's like, all right. Sure, we're a little soft to Stony, but that could also demonstrate some of what our deck's capable of, right? Plus on Citadel for hype. All right, 3 lands. This is a pretty solid. Bad Magic Player 1 is our opponent's name. All right, so we're going to play blue-white again. Let's see if we can do a better job this time. Well, 2 bridges. Not looking great. He's playing a Wall of Omens build. Okay. Honestly, you should just jam Sword there. You're very much Probably right. I probably could have jammed it. Played it there. Oof. Yeah, and I'm sad I don't have the Whir target to answer the Jace at the moment in the main. So they will pull ahead pretty fast here. So this is the 4th time we played blue-white, right? Total? Between the 2 leagues, we played it twice in the last league. This is the 2nd time we've seen it this league. Whew. No, I'm not running a needle. I'm running Spyglass, but it's in the Karn board. I mean, I can whir up the rest of Thopter Sword combo, which is pretty good. I mean, unless he has a main board detention sphere, we're good to go on that line. Ooh, or I make my river tap for black accidentally, so we need to play the opal, and then I just punt it even further. I forgot about the river. I forgot about the river. I mean, I could do it during his end step. Yeah, I screwed it. I screwed it up, Jace. I screwed it up. Screwed it up, chat. Could end step it. Could draw step it, but he probably has the counterspell at this point. Is there a world where he plays Teferi? Yeah, I could also respond to the J-Storm. No, I threw this away. We actually had a window to maybe steal it. And I got overexcited and played my Academy Ruins. I was like, wait, I need to float the blue first. No. One of the reasons we didn't want, or I personally didn't want Dark Slick, was we've got some really important 4 or more mana plays. So I kind of didn't, I mean, like Lattice as well. I kind of didn't want Dark Slick, but like I definitely wish I'd remembered my river. It's okay. We've already kind of proven that this is a tough matchup tonight. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm sad I overtapped for that because I was trying to pretend I was getting not Foundry. I could have made my first Thopter, chat. Could have made my first Thopter. You just rolling on the keyboard, Part Trap? Rolling in your grave? So opponent fields my Academy. Paths their own wall. I guess to get to Teferi? You're a Thopter. No, you're a Thopter, Partrap. Detention sphere to make me a sad, sad boy. Well, we'll make a bunch of these in response. I mean, we still have basics for field. So I think that's negligible. We better off sacrificing it to itself and putting it in the graveyard, or now that the academy's down, are we better off letting it get exiled and then we can get it back through engineered explosives? We're probably better off letting it go underneath the detention sphere, I think. No, because we can take it back with Karn. Right, so we let it get exiled. I'm with you, chat. Let's make sure we respect Path. The way that we attack Jace, we probably send 4 Thopters at him, and then the big beefy Thopter will send Face. So we've got Bobble Fetch. Jace. 4, just respecting Path. The rest is going to go... Yeah, and there's one in the Karn board as well. Actually, I should probably just use this on me, because couldn't we whir 1? Blue, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whir for 2. I'm actually going to do this to myself now, because we could whir during his end step. Yeah, there's a whir coming up. So we get to end step whir for Thopter Sword again. Nice. Is this Little Teferi? Yeah, so let's not do the same mistake I've made several times tonight, admittedly. I don't mind the 2 life. Let's make so that we can still fetch when it comes to Field of Ruin. Actually, I didn't need to do that. We had plenty of mana. My bad, chat. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just... I mean, sure, we could go after his hand, but I'm pretty sure we just want to get Foundry again. Which, again, why overpay there? Like, if my plan is to just get Foundry, I shouldn't overpay. Why? Why overpay, BrewSpy? Why? So he's just gonna desphere the 2 Foundries away. So since I overpaid, I screwed us. I didn't think about it. I didn't need to... Excuse me, guys. I didn't need to overpay on the whir. I would have been able to play around the detention sphere, hit both Thopter's Foundries play if I hadn't done that. So, whoops. Whoopsie. Oh, I don't promise that I'm going to play well. I mean, I'm trying to buy time for my buddy Tyler to get here. So this one's going to Teferi. Everybody else. So we drew Karn. Technically, could get Thopter Sword again, despite my mistake. We drinking tonight? No. Well, yes, actually, maybe. My friend, we do have some beverages. We might do that. Yeah, I think we just reassemble Thopter Foundry, despite my mistake. And speaking of which, I need to make sure I haven't missed him. No, he's not going to be here till like 1. If you want to brew another deck, you're trying to make Esper Fairies work. What's the white for? Besides Path. But that was my bad, chat. Like, our deck was just really kind to us, you know? Like, we don't deserve the win here because I made a mistake on my Whir. But that's magic for you, right? Little Jace. Oh, Spell Queller. Spell Queller. Two mana Jace? So what do we get here? Opponent's got 4 cards in their hand. Kind of just want to see how to navigate this, even if we're just turning off Colonnade or a Planeswalker. Because I kind of want to leave a lot of mana open for Thopter as well. Name Time Raveler. Oh, you're playing Time Raveler. I see. Jace Cryptic Path Snap. He might try to break up the Thopter Foundry. Might as well gain all our life off this too. This would be so much easier if I just hadn't made some of those misplays. Yeah, so if I hadn't made that mistake earlier, we would have had a different piece. Like we would have had something different here. Instead of Foundry, we might have had Coding. We might have had Cloister, maybe Lattice. Oh, this is still game 1 against our second blue-white opponent. That's right. Opponent considering maybe Snap Verdict. He's also got Snap Cryptic. So opponent certainly has options. No, if he snaps, he loses. We have our lock either way. What makes you say that, disc jockey? DJ. He plays Teferi. So he's going for Snap Cryptic. I mean, I don't have enough mana to just go get... If he snaps, we can go grab Lattice. My Karn's only on 1 loyalty, though. I don't quite have that much mana to work with. But I just get to reestablish Foundry. We have another Karn in hand, we'll still just jam. Oh yeah, I think it's definitely too much for him to handle all at once, for sure. Oh, interesting, so he returns the snap. Okay. Maybe I should have plussed this Karn before going to combat. I mean, I guess we figured he was doing that play anyway. Honestly, we just go get Crypt. Maybe. And we're going to play Thopter Foundry so we have blockers for... We need 2 blockers for protecting Karn. Instant speed blockers, not sorcery speed. Blast Zone on 3. If we can take it up. No, this is where we want to be. We've got a really long, drawn-out game 1 where our clock is slightly higher. It looks like we're going to get this first game. I use that Karn board Crypt a lot. Like, it comes up a lot. The Karn board Crypt. Yeah. We've used it quite a bit. It was really instrumental when we played against Dredge last stream to be able to go get that. Although I think we also got kind of lucky. I think we saw a relic the first game, and then I think we drew. That was the previous version where we had 2 relics. This one's playing a split. We've got Spellbomb and relic in this one. But Spellbomb, yeah, Spellbomb is sweet with Thopter Foundry. You still get to draw a card, still make a token in matchups where we don't need to be going after the graveyard. Opponent is kind of realizing that we kind of have a lot of the different angles. How is the post in this game? Oh, post board? Oh, how's the border post? Oh, I cut them. Sorry, DJ. We're on a slightly different list now. My bad. You're still working with... We just changed it for this league, so let me update that for you, my friend. We've already gone through 4 versions. It's crazy to me. That can't be true. I think this is version 3. Yeah. I thought I saved you. Export. Save. There you go. List updated. List has been updated. Opponent's still tanking, so it's not like I was wasting my clock. They are still thinking over there. If I was them, though, I would not want to waste clock. You know? I'm a fan of Pauper. Yeah, I've played a bit of Pauper. So he wraths. Could be a counterspell over there. I mean, I assume it's counterspell that he's drawn. Right? That's the assumption. It's a logic knot. Wait for the mana to go away. Push it. There's bridge too. I mean, it doesn't even need to resolve. We just needed to. Yeah, Pauper's interesting, and the bans do revitalize the format, perhaps. Okay, hang on real quick, disc jockey. Let me remember how we board for this. I might bring that back in. See, I don't think I would tutor for this, but I wouldn't mind it just being in. Bridges are weak, but I don't mind one as a tutor target just in case. Because I'd rather use bridge to shut off his threats than I would like capsule. Sai comes in, grids come in because of Stony. We're going to test Saheeli as well. Room for one more card. Do we want to just put Cloister in as a Whir target? Spyglass. These are the two that we kind of consider from time to time. I like this. Obviously needs to stay as a Karn target. So these are always Karn board. Like we want to leave this 5. This 5. The others is where it's debatable. We don't need this either. So maybe Cloister, maybe Spyglass. I kind of like being able to naturally draw to Spyglass in this matchup. Maybe Cloister. Yeah, Spyglass comes in. It's just slightly more likely we hit it. That's all. I think Crypt just being in is fine. I think Scholar's fine. I think we run it like this. I think we can leave Cloister as a Karn board. I mean, maybe we cut like okay, Karn, Sai. Oh, this hand doesn't have black mana though. But we took game 1, so even if there has to be a game